Minecraft turned 15 years old this May, and that means that there's a lot of baggage that comes with Minecraft these days. The YouTubers, the other Minecraft games, and just the sheer history of it all. The game hasn't exactly stayed the same all these years, and the same goes for the way people engage with it. The game has changed so radically so many times. People look towards older versions for a different kind of experience. There's even a mod pack that presents itself as an alternate version of history for the game, what it could have been if developed by a different team, and it is nearly unrecognizable from the game's current official iteration. That is to say, Minecraft is an ongoing project. It is a moving, living thing, and I find the direction it's moving in to be very interesting. Now, I don't want to bore you with the history of every Minecraft update, but there is some vital context I should explain. You see, a lot of Minecraft's ongoing success is due to its community, its YouTube community in particular, and there's a reason why Minecraft took over the platform. Minecraft isn't just a game. In fact, that is one of the less important aspects of Minecraft on YouTube. Its primary function is as a medium for artistic expression. I know, it sounds pretentious, but it's true. It's obviously the case for Minecraft builds and adventure maps. Clearly they're using Minecraft as a tool to express themselves, but I would also like to make the case for Minecraft YouTube videos. Of course there's a lot of slop, the equivalent of keys jingling in front of the audience, but there's also good stuff like Parkour Civilization that is a part of a relatively long-standing tradition of Minecraft scripted roleplay. One of the more notable ones that I remember is DanTDM's Custom Mod Adventures, which is going to turn 10 years old in a couple months. I don't mean to oversell their importance, but these videos are essentially an indie form of a TV show. The game of Minecraft is just the setting for the actual entertainment here, which is the storytelling, and that's done by the YouTubers. And then there's the Let's Plays. SMPs in particular are essentially a long-form collaborative improv series with episodes and everything, and Minecraft is the set dressing. As time has gone on, these Let's Plays have gotten more sophisticated in their storytelling. These worlds have lore of their own, sometimes parts are even scripted when the story calls for it. It's engaging and it's interesting. Clearly there's effort and creativity put in here. What I'm saying is the concept of Minecraft has really exceeded its bounds as a video game. It is a platform, it is an artistic medium, it is a teaching tool, it is a social space. And this is all well and good, but there's one problem, one thing fighting against all of this. Minecraft wants to be a game again. From Mojang's perspective, the trouble with all these wildly disparate works of creativity spawning from Minecraft is that they don't really get to do any of it themselves. If they resign themselves to just being a platform for others to build their works in, they will quickly find themselves just making a weirdly block-shaped game engine. So what do you as the developer do? Well, there is something that you can still change, that you still have full control over, and that is the core experience, the foundation of the game, survival mode. Survival mode is pretty weird actually. It's spawned as essentially a set of restrictions to give the sandbox world some meaning. The monsters coming out at night incentivize you to build, mine, and craft. And it's cool, I like it. It's clear that the first night of the game had some vision behind it, but that's pretty much it. You build your dirt hut and you're done. Or if the incentives take you the right way, maybe you build something more. But unless you're intrinsically motivated to play in the sandbox, this is all the game has to offer as an artistic experience on its own. Until Minecraft 1.0. Updates had already drastically broadened the scope of the game, but the full release was different. This update introduced the end dimension and, well, the end of the game. This was something entirely new for Minecraft. There was a goal now, kill the Ender Dragon. But that's not it. Introducing this one goal meant introducing something more. A unified, core, intended experience. You could try to set goals of your own, but there would always be this looming specter of the ending, like setting goals of your own was somehow a more trivial affair. From this point on, most playthroughs of Minecraft would go through the same series of events, the same sort of narrative arc. You spawn in, you break trees, then stone, then iron, then diamond, then obsidian, then you go to the nether, then you find the nether fortress, then you kill blazes, then kill endermen, then craft ender eyes, then you follow the ender eyes, then you go to the end fortress, then you go into the end, then you blast the nether crystals, and then you kill the ender dragon. Through this, survival mode went from a sandbox where rules of play were mostly determined by the player to a straight linear series of events. Yes, you were still playing in the sandbox, but now there was a preordained destination, a carved out path through the sand that I would describe as the main quest of the game. This should have been a massive shift for Minecraft, but weirdly the game design didn't shift with it. The updates that came after didn't really alter the main quest, they basically just added more colors of sand to the sandbox. That's not worthless, it adds to the atmosphere and to that feeling of vastness Minecraft worlds have. It gives more tools to the people using Minecraft as a medium, but it doesn't really improve the main quest all that much. You still just get to the dragon by doing that same set of arbitrary actions, and then you go beat the dragon and that's it. You're done. Roll credits. For a while it seemed like survival mode's main quest was this incidental thing, like an obligation completed half-heartedly. There wasn't even a tutorial or a way to find out recipes without looking them up. Even the game's tutorial had been outsourced to the community. But ever since Microsoft's acquisition, there have been repeated attempts at changing this, at turning this mess of an emergent narrative into a story, a cohesive self-contained whole, at turning Minecraft into not just a creative outlet, but a game of its own that is worth your time. We'll talk about whether these changes were good or successful at this later, but I believe the way they did it is far more interesting from a game design perspective. Progression was the first thing that got additions. 1.9, the first update after Microsoft's acquisition, added end cities and elytras. It added a post-game reward and incentive to return to the end dimension. It tested a player's skill on traversing large voids of distances before giving you the tool to overcome them with ease. This expanded the main quest with a post-game, and later additions of shulker boxes and rocket-powered elytras cemented the end cities as worthwhile to explore, as well as a part of the main quest. And then there came the overhauls. First they updated underserved aspects of the game that weren't really integral to the main quest, those being the ocean and villages. These were things that you could do in the mid-game, and that would reward you with faster progression. You can track down a buried treasure, you can go do a village raid, both for rewards that are a part of the main quest. These do affect the main quest, yes, but in an indirect way, the same way that the biome updates affected the main quest before 1.9. More colors of sand for the sandbox. They add to the atmosphere, and while these do fill out the game experience and fix some of the issues in the moment-to-moment gameplay, they don't really change the nature of the main quest like the end cities did. But I think there still was a clearly visible desire to make the game less reliant on its community existing around it. 1.12 added the recipe book and tutorial hints, at least in part removing reliance on an active community to teach newer players about the game. In my opinion, the pretty positive reception to these large changes led to Mojang trying to tackle more foundational aspects of the survival experience, starting with the Nether, and there's a lot to talk about here. I see this update being distinct from the previous ones, because the Nether update did something they didn't. See, the oceans and villages were pretty barren before their updates. There was barely anything to do in the villages besides exploit their iron golem spawns for an iron farm, and the same goes for the oceans. Yeah, the ocean monuments were there, but like, come on. But the Nether was different. It had more to it. It had a unique challenge to traversal. You couldn't mine, or at least it was dangerous to do so because of the lava pockets. So if you wanted to explore, you had to run around, avoid hitting the zombie pigmen, or find some solution around the lava. And then there were the Nether fortresses, one of the very few combat challenges given to you in the quest. You have to survive the Nether fortress long enough to kill a bunch of blazes. This means altering the Nether wouldn't just mean altering a part of the sandbox, it would change a huge part of the main quest experience. So they had to be careful. And all in all, I think they were successful here. The Nether update expanded on the challenges given to you by the main quest. You had to find the Nether fortress, so you had no choice but to explore, which means that you have to also explore the new biomes. And these new biomes were new, clever takes on the challenges from the original Nether. You had places with lots of weirdly placed blocks and lava pits. You have your lava lakes, your caves, the soul sand valleys, parts of which slow you down, making dodging the gas that spawn there far more difficult. But as an upside, now you don't have to worry about falling into lava. And the Nether wart forests that are safe when it comes to environment, but also are far less safe when it comes to combat. Here, enemies can hide behind the trees. Here, they can catch you far more easily. There's trade-offs here. There's intention. There's game design. In these moments, my creativity is no longer the driving force of the experience. Now it is theirs, the creators of the game. I can't really say anything like this about the aquatic or village updates because they're not a part of the main quest, at least not necessarily. But traversing the Nether is, so Mojang can engage with you directly, approximate your level of progression, and present you with challenges that build and expand on what has come before. Here, I can see it. I'm having an experience designed to be interesting to me, designed to be a part of the game's narrative. I can engage in the conversation that survival mode is trying to have with the player. But there's more. They also started applying their game design chops to making the game more self-contained, for it to be enjoyable outside the context of our current cultural zeitgeist. See, one thing I haven't really talked about much is the connection between those parts of the main quest, and that's because there kind of isn't any. You're just expected to know how to build a nether portal, what materials you need from the nether, and which mobs to kill so you can find the stronghold. Yes, the recipe book and the tutorial hints do help partially in this respect. They tell you to go punch a tree and maybe find some stone, but beyond that you're on your own, until the nether update. These incomplete portal structures act as a form of tutorial on how to make a nether portal, and preview of what to expect when you light it. And you might figure out that you're supposed to light it because the chest loot often includes a fire charge or a flint and steel. It is subtle tutorialization through environmental storytelling. The game is rejecting the idea that Minecraft's mystery should be demystified by the community. The game wants to stand on its own. It wants you to be able to uncover those mysteries by yourself. I could say similar things about the Caves and Cliffs update. An integral part of the main quest, mining for materials, is being altered. The world generation is, from the ground up, being redesigned to be an intentional experience that fits into the broader survival campaign. The openness of the caves serves as an inviting force, piquing your curiosity and ultimately leading you to the mining part of the main quest. Again, subtle tutorialization, but there's one more kind of update to talk about here, and those are the self-contained dungeons, the side quests nouveau. I think they also fit into the shift to more intentional game design, unlike the aquatic or the village updates, or even the older dungeon structures. The trial chambers, the ancient city, these aren't really paths towards the Ender Dragon. Rather, they are optional challenges. Ones with the rewards that are separate from the main quest but still helpful. This is one of the key distinctions. If you find a buried treasure by just walking around a bunch, the most valuable thing you get is some diamonds and iron, a part of the main quest's progression. In villages you can trade for the ender pearls and find crafting benches, beds, shelter and food, all part of the main quest. These newer dungeons are something different though. In the ancient cities you can find Swift Sneak. You show that you are capable of defeating the city without the enchantment that makes it easier, and only then can you get the enchantment to use in everyday situations. In the trial chambers you can find the mace as well as other loot. You show that you are good at combat, and only then you can get the most powerful weapon in the game. In the bastions you show that you are capable of beating the piglins in lava without the protection of netherite armor or tools, and only then you are rewarded with the netherite smithing template. There are clear starts, middles, and ends to these side quests. They're clearly made with that sort of adventure experience in mind, in a way that the older dungeons really aren't. Finally, for the first time since the first Dangerous Night introduced all the way back before in-dev, you can see through it. You can see the clockwork behind the face. Minecraft is a game again, and it is speaking directly with you. But should it? In all honesty, I don't know. While I have been praising these updates a lot, there are also many flaws here which have already been discussed at length in other videos. I want to ask something bigger though. Is it a good thing that Minecraft is becoming a game that can engage with you directly? This kind of design is straying from the original point of Minecraft, to spark your creativity in a world without bound. The absence of an authorial voice beyond the first night, at least in my opinion, even if unintentional, wasn't a mistake. I think that is what made Minecraft so special in the first place. The sand in the sandbox has pretty colors, so why should it be necessary to carve out a path in it? Well, it's not really. Minecraft at first didn't conform to these expectations of clear-cut narrative, but when the ending was implemented, so were these expectations and constraints from the rest of the gaming landscape. The game's open ends were closed, and now Mojang have to work to make it mean something, to make it into a game again. They can't go back now. No matter what they do, there will always be that ending hanging over their heads. There will always be remains of a sandbox in the main quest, impeding Mojang's ability to make it better, and there will always be unwanted side effects of the main quest impeding your experience of the sandbox. This is the dissonance at the heart of Minecraft. The ending prescribes Minecraft an explicit meaning, while the initial experience of Minecraft asks you to bring meaning of your own. And they will always clash, no matter how hard you might try to stop it. And I think that's all I have to say. Before I end the video, I want to thank everyone who watched my first one. It outdid all my expectations in it. It feels really nice and surreal seeing people care about what I have to say. Please go ahead and give me your thoughts down in the comments. I'm actually really curious to see what people think about Minecraft these days. Writing these scripts has actually been really fun. I can feel myself thinking more critically about the games I care about. I really hope I can keep making these videos, so keep watching them, please. Subscribe, like, do everything. I really cannot overstate how motivating it is to see that I'm not just screaming into the void. So yeah, thanks.